Hi everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore, and today I have a card tutorial to share with you. And I've had to make a few birthday cards. I have some coming up. So I really liked how this turned out. And so I am going to share this birthday card with you. I love the little technique to get that background. It's really pretty and it's very easy to do. So let's go ahead and get started with this. For this card you're going to need a basic 5.5 by 4 1/4. This is Bermuda Bay. And then you're going to need a piece that's 5 by 3 3/4. That's for our image. And then our matte piece is 5 1/4 by 4. And this is basic gray. Alright, so let's get started. The stamp set that we're using for this is the Butterfly Basics, and it's this one here. It's a very, very pretty stamp set, and I've used this several times. It's really a good stamp set. Alright, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to grab my clear block, and I'm going to use 3 of my Stampin' Right markers. And I'm using Coastal Cabana, Island Indigo, and Bermuda Bay. And you can use whatever colors you like. Try to get a light, medium, and dark. It seems to really work nice for that. And then we're just going to color on our block, just like this. And I'm going to divide it into 3 groups, lightest to darkest. And I am going over it a little bit. And then the darker. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is I have some alcohol and water in here. You don't need the alcohol in it. You can just do straight water. Scoot that out of the way, and then you're going to spray this. And we're going to flip it over and center it. And it's so pretty when it's done. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love this technique. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my embossing heat tool and I'm going to dry this very thoroughly. So I'll speed up the video while I do that. Okay, so this is pretty dry now. It's actually thoroughly dry. And this, I didn't mention, but this is our extra thick Whisper White cardstock that I'm using for this. And it seems to work really good when you're using water on it. So I'm going to grab some basic gray, and this is Archival Basic Gray and our Archival Basic Black. And I'm going to stamp my flower image. I'm going to ink this up really well. And I'm going to center it on here. And I'm going to hold it down there for a couple seconds to make sure. And there we have our image. Isn't that pretty? So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little honeycomb stamp, and I'm using the basic gray this time, but I'm going to stamp off once because I don't want it really, I just want it light, and I'm going to stamp right over that image. And it gives that little honeycomb effect there. And then I have this little round image, and it has a little saying, and it just says New York. It's like a little stamp sentiment. And I'm going to stamp off a little bit on that. And we're going to stamp that right there. I just want it real faint in the background. And I'm doing the same thing with the basic gray and these little flowers. And I'm just putting them randomly around. It just looks super pretty when they're just faint in the background. So I'm just going to close these up for now until I do my watercoloring. And I'm going to grab some Pool Party, Bermuda Bay, and some Island Indigo. And what I do is I squeeze the top so that it leaves a little bit of ink in the lid here, and then I can watercolor with that ink. And this goes super fast, and I'm using one of our aqua painters. And what I'm doing, I'm going to just grab the darker color first, and I want to color this flower in. So I'm just taking the darker in the center, and there's lines on here, so I'm kind of following the lines, and I'm doing the same on these images here. And then I'm going to clean that off, and we're going to go to the Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to start adding that. I'm going to go to the lightest color on the outside. You don't have to do all these flowers. I just wanted them all to look pretty much the same, and then we're going to grab the pool party and fill in the rest. And it gives it that watercolor look, and I just wanted to extend the watercolor look up into that flower. So that's it. We'll close up these inks, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment. And these are all from the same stamp set. And again, I'll need my basic black. And I want to make sure that's straight. And then we're ready for the Wink of Stella. And I'm just going to add it to like the center of the leaves. I'm not going to overdo it. I just want to add a little bit of shimmer. Okay, so now we're ready to attach it to our basic gray card base back. And a word of caution, the archival ink takes a few minutes to dry, and so you don't want to smear it, so just be very careful. You can use your embossing tool to dry it real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the adhesive to this part, the matte, and I'm going to add enough. And then I'm just going to lay this on top. And I don't want to smear that, so I'm going to press around it. I've smeared them lots of times before, so that's why I do it this way. Okay, now we're ready to put it on the card base. You can use dimensionals for this, or you can use to pop it up, or you can just use your fast fuse or your snail. But I just wanted to put this in the mail, so I don't want it to have too much dimension. It's just easier to go through the mail. Alright, so that is it. I love the way this card turned out, and I love the background. It's a lot of fun to do. So if you need any supplies for this, you can go to my blog at stampingwithamore.com, and you can shop right online from my blog. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a blessed day, and until next time, bye.